Is my face still out of focus? Hello again. We're back. Yeah, no. So it's the only thing I can do is to hit the reset button on it all. Turn the tower off. Turn it all back on. Looks good. Does it sound good? I mean, I know my voice is raspy, but I can't do anything about that tonight. All right, still pixels, but sound and overall quality is much better. I don't know. I can't do anything about that other than this. I turned the whole system off and turned it back on. All right, well, all is well. Okay, we'll go on to the next trivia question. We had just done, we were on question 10. Which Pink Floyd member released a solo album on an island? The question number 10, the correct answer is A. David Gilmour released that album, solo album. Next question is number 11. Is Keith Richards collaborated with Mick Jagger and played the guitar for which first top 10 hit? Is it A, The Last Time, B, Aftermath, C, Paint It Black, or D, Start Me Up? I'm not saying it's bad, it's just much better. It's actually very clear, and the more we go. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad. I don't know what the issue is, or I don't know what turned it off the first time. It's weird. You rely on technology so much, and then the whole thing goes, the way it does. What are you gonna do? Do the best you can with it, right? Thumbs up. Yeah, give this stream a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Cessna 101. Good evening and welcome to Music Trivia tonight. I hope you had a wonderful, relaxing weekend. And we got C, D's, some B's. Love the Stones, Heart. Keith Richards collaborated with Mick Jagger and played the guitar for which first top 10 hit? Janie is going, I'm going to say B, and thumbs up. It's funny rely on so much, right? People are realizing a lot, especially during the COVID shutdown, just how important it is, to have internet access for everything. And people had to work from home. They had to have, do schooling from home and everything else that went on. Telemedicine, just to talk to a doctor or a mental health counselor. Some AA and NA groups went completely online. So people were meeting and talking via Zoom online for, support groups. I mean, but how much we rely on it and just how much the internet system itself here in America is just a hodgepodge of different companies doing their own thing, and nobody is communicating with each other. But they realize pretty quickly just how important it is to upgrade the system and to try to come up with some rules to put in place for just basic services. Yep, and add hurricanes to that. Crazy. In the Navy, the Village People. You know, that's something that I don't have. I don't have any of the Village People in here. I don't think I have any Village People LPs. I might have some 45s of of the YMCA song. I might have that on 45, but I don't have any full length albums by the Village People. All right. Question number 11. The correct answer is A as in apple. The Last Time. Keith Richards collaborated with Mick Jagger and played the guitar for that song, The Last Time. Question number 12. Name the guitar slinging musician who was referred to as God by the band members. Is it A, Jim Morrison, B, Eric Clapton, C, James Taylor, or D, Dusty Springfield? Name the guitar slinging musician who was referred to as God by the band members. Can't agree with you more, Will. Your internet froze for a second, Amy. Where I live, you have one option for home internet, and that's it. And well, yeah, you can get satellite home internet, but it's so cost. The cost is things like $270 a month for for internet. It was originally meant for just businesses. It's called Blue Hippo, but otherwise you're stuck with Spectrum for home internet. There are certain areas that are around here where you can get dial-up service still, DSL, but you can't get it in my area. They don't offer DSL at all. You are stuck with Spectrum. Slow and terrible there. Yeah. Good morning, good evening, Cement Shoes. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to the music trivia tonight, Cement Shoes. Satellite internet is slow. It's just not cost effective to get, even for a business. Most of the people that I know who have own a have small business, they don't even go with Blue Hippo. They have most of the places that do take on Blue Hippo for their internet service. They have landlines and they have that other things with the company packages, but they're pretty large companies. Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers. We had satellite internet until the pandemic. Then we worked from home and it wasn't working out. Yeah. I definitely did win tonight. I don't know how much these. Is that milk? Name the guitar slinging musician who was referred to as God by his band members. The correct answer to question number 12, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy, Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton, the band members with Eric Clapton referred to him as God. It's not like the Beatles, were more popular than God. His band members actually referred to him as God. All right, question number 13. What did Freddie Mercury die of? Was it A, a gunshot? Was it B, stabbing, C, a traffic accident, or D, was it AIDS? What took Freddie Mercury's life? Every time I think of him, I remember what happened to his son. Oh, yeah. He wrote that song that's super depressing about it too. D D D D D D D AIDS D D D D D D D D D. I think everybody knows this one. See, there's questions on here that people know. Lori Ludwig. Good evening. If I didn't say hello earlier, I'm sorry. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Everybody's going with D. Inner Peace is E. Heartbroken. I think the whole world was heartbroken when we lost, the multi-talented Freddie Mercury. But it wasn't. It was actually the correct answer. It was AIDS, ladies and gentlemen. D as in dog, AIDS. But I actually looked this one up. Did they actually call it AIDS when he died? Because you have to remember, it was not called AIDS originally. Originally, they had several different names that they medically called it. It was, the gay disease. It was this disease. It was the autoimmune deficiency. They had a whole bunch of different names for it before they settled on AIDS. I heard he had a nasty infection on his foot too. Erna, I think that's how you pronounce it. Erna, welcome. I don't have my glasses with me. I think that's an R. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but welcome. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight for music trivia. All right, question number 14. Who played the guitar for Guns N' Roses originally? Who was the lead guitarist? We're looking for the lead guitarist, ladies and gentlemen. Was it A, Slash, B, Tracy Gunn, C, Peter Cetera, or D, B.B. King? Who was the original guitarist for the band Guns N' Roses? Starfire says A. It was your birthday weekend, Lori? Well, happy birthday. Be it, late apparently. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. You guys want to sing happy birthday to Lori? Inner Peace is going with Elvis. Lori Ludwig had a birthday this weekend, everybody. So let's sing Lori happy birthday. Everybody sing with me. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lori. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lori. Stephanie says, I only knew about Slash. Charlie is going with B. Yeah, I don't. Starfire. Who's Tracy Gunn? LOL. Huh. Happy birthday. If today is your birthday, or if it was your birthday recently, happy birthday to you as well. I went to see BB King and had a great band. BB hung out after and chat and signed stuff. It was great. Sketty, no, that's cool. I went to see BB King at the Blues Festival. I think it was 1986 or somewhere in there. But the Blues Festival, it was George Clinton and the Funkadelics, BB King, Buddy Guy, and right there, I was just like, wow, I'm blown away. I mean, I always knew, who George Clinton and the Funkadelics were. I knew who BB King was, but that's one of the first times I actually got to listen to and watch up close Buddy Guy play, and how I didn't know, or didn't appreciate this man's music up to that point. It was unbelievable. It was a complete failure on my part. All right, who played the guitar for Guns N' Roses originally? Lead guitarist. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy. Tracy Gunn was the original lead guitarist for Guns N' Roses. Question number 15. Which rock music soul singer was shot when he was having a confrontation with an LA hotel manager? Which rock music soul singer was shot when he was having a confrontation with the LA hotel manager? Was it A, James Taylor, B, Jim Morrison, C, Sam Cooke, or D, Jimmy Page? I saw a short bio on Guns N' Roses, and I'm pretty confident of my answer, Charlie. Well, Charlie, did you guess B? Tracy Gunn? And Pete is going with E, Stevie Wonder, for this one. This was a pretty famous event for this question. I actually knew this one. This is one of the ones I knew for sure. Tracy Harrison, good evening. Welcome to True Crime, music edition tonight. It's not really true crime, but normally every other weekend is true crime, general, or serial killers, or something like that. But every other weekend is music. And tonight we are doing 30 multiple choice questions on music. The beginning part of it, most of them are rock and roll oriented, but there are some pop and pop rock questions in there as well. The Beatles. C, Jimmy Page. B. Which rock music soul singer was shot when he was having a confrontation with an LA hotel manager? Anyways, I'm sucking this week. I would guess C, but I guess I ruined that for everyone. C anyways. Well, Janie, the correct answer to this one is C. C as in cat. Sam Cooke was shot while having a confrontation with the hotel front desk manager, and he wanted to check out and leave and wanted his money back. And the guy shot him. He did. He's lucky he didn't kill him, but it happened. You never heard of Sam Cooke? Oh, Stephanie, you gotta go onto the YouTube and type his name in. Just make sure you add an E on the end of Cook. Googled it. Must be true. In the words of the question, get blurry. Just hit the 3 dots to the top right. Select higher picture quality. No need to restart. It's good to know. Thank you, okie dokie. All right, question number 16. We're on to 16 already. When was the first ever album of Aerosmith released? When did Aerosmith release their first album? Was it A, 1970, B, 1971, C, 1972, or D, 1973? When did Aerosmith release their first album? That's a good question. Let's see who remembers this one. Good evening, Matt. Woohoo, my favorite NFL team. The Cardinals. Yeah, they're 5-0. The only ones undefeated as of right now in the NFL. I thought, if I had to pick a team that I thought was going to go 5-0 to start the season, Matt, I would have probably have guessed Kansas City. I mean, we're talking about loaded, weapons there. They got Kelsey, for the tight end, and they have, running backs, and they've got Mahomes, back there slinging the rock. I mean, I would have guessed Kansas City Chiefs, would have went 5-0, but they're just barely over 500, I think, or did they win today? I'm not sure, but they were 2-2 and coming into today. Question number 16. KC is on a rain delay. Oh, so the game isn't even over with yet. Oh, I don't have any. I have in one of my leagues in fantasy football, I have Mahomes, but I put him on the bench today. I played Tom Brady. Yep, go Bills. Okie dokie. You guys are a tornado watch there? When I was a little boy, okie dokie, I was convinced that all of the trees, around our farm pointed at our house. I was convinced that the tornado was going to get me. So many tornadoes. It became part of life. It's like you just knew when they were coming. You just look up and you could tell. The birds stopped singing, they stopped flying, and then you just feel it. Like you got to get in your storm shelter. Matt, you're in Mesa, Arizona. Love Me Like Music is in Eastern North Carolina. Oh, it's not that it was. You're just a little kid. You don't understand the world around you. And you get over it. You quickly you realize, all right, the trees are not pointed at your house like an arrow. We never lost our home to a tornado. We had a lot of storm damage over the years to outbuildings and stuff like that. I'm in no way out here in the South, but did anyone watch Alabama, Texas A&M yesterday? No, I'm not much of a college football fan, but I mean, if I was going to watch one, I'd watch the Roll Tide. But see, Brooks, Steven Tyler, Steven Tyler wrote a really good book about the band. He hates being famous too. He also has Martin's Normia in his feet from 30 years of jumping up and down on stage in high heels. I didn't know that. That's sorry. Born in Georgia, big Bulldog fan. My godparents moved from Minnesota to Arizona. They lived in Tucson. They're both buried there in Tucson. I haven't been back there. I remember as a little kid going out there on vacation to visit them, and it was the first time that I ever saw an orange lime tree and a grapefruit tree. Never saw that stuff in my life. I mean, I knew what they were, but just to go outside and pick a grapefruit off of the tree. I ate so many grapefruit. Got sick. Toys in the Attic is your favorite from them? The Dogs. Okie dokie, Mrs. Arizona. I used to watch college football with my brother. Then he died, and I just couldn't watch it anymore. I'm sorry, Jenny. A&M showed up and beat Alabama. Great game. Texas A&M. What the Longhorns, right? All right. When was the first album by Aerosmith released? The correct answer to question number 16, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog. 1973 was the first release. And I saw grapefruit trees in Puerto Rico too. Well, I'm sure the Aggies. I'm sure that there are. That's the first time I ever saw them. It was in Arizona. They had all the three of the trees. They had grapefruit, orange, lemon, and a lime tree. Yeah, in the backyard. So they had 4 out of 5. But I just went out there. I love grapefruit. Even I still to this day, I buy pink grapefruit at the store, and I'll eat that half of a grapefruit for breakfast, along with 2 slices of dry toast. Can't stand butter or anything on toast. Ugh. Drives me nuts. All right, question number 17. Which restaurant chain is owned by Bill Wyman, but he grew bored of it and walked away from it all? Is it A, Chuckers, B, Sticky Fingers, C, Checkers, or D, Homegrown? Which restaurant chain was owned by Bill Wyman? I like strawberry jam on toast. Stephanie Fisher. I'm dead. My wife, whenever we go somewhere, she always was it the orange marmalade? She always puts marmalade on toast, but we never buy it for at home. Don't have any marmalade here. She buys all kinds of like apricot and strawberry, and huckleberry stuff like that for jams that we have here. My son doesn't. He won't eat anything except for grape jelly. He doesn't like jam at all. But but she buys the different preserves for as part of like sauces that she makes. She makes a roasted pork loin, and then she makes a sauce that goes over the top of it. Watching Star Wars holiday special, it's amazing. That's cool. So, oh, bump the table there. Sorry. There's Yoda. Darth Vader. Stormtrooper. They're all keychains. I have C3PO and other ones around here somewhere. But these are the ones that are always on my shelf over here. An hour or two earlier is okay, but more than that, no, not more than that for changing the time. We're thinking about it. It's never going to. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I laugh so much. Trivia is great, and on top of that, the comments just get comical because you let us jump around all over the place. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I'm glad you enjoy it. All right, which restaurant chain is owned by Bill Wyman, but he grew bored of it and then walked away from it all? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is this one is B as in boy, Sticky Fingers. It was a restaurant chain that served chicken fingers. They got bored of it. They didn't want anything to do with it anymore. I don't know if there's any of them still around or if they're even owned or controlled by him anymore. But there were several locations at one point. I like the 70s Star Wars, the original. 2:20 p.m. Monday afternoon here in Australia. Good evening or good morning, Amy, Judah. Welcome to the music trivia tonight. And where Amy is, it's 11:21 p.m. right now, but the starts at 10 p.m. on Sundays. I pulled that one from the cobwebs of my mind. Not IHOP? Nope. All right, question number 18. Which band gave Eric Clapton his initial fame? Was it A, the Yardbirds, B, Zoso Sweet Band, C, the Hoppers, or D, Led Zeppelin? Which band gave Eric Clapton his initial fame? Well, I don't like Star Wars. My daughter had a Star Wars week this week at school, and it was brutal for both of us. Oh, I'm sorry. Then we have A. Staten now. A. Howard Johnson. Utah. Yeah, in the U.S. Utah Destiny. I keep on forgetting that. I'm sorry. D, A, because that's somehow sounds familiar. Inner Peace is going with E, Casey, and the Sunshine Band. The songs were Heart Full of Soul, I'm the Man, Over, Under, Sideways, Down, I'm Not Talking, Smokestack Lightning, For Your Love, Happening 10 Years Ago. What band gave Eric Clapton his initial fame? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is the Yardbirds. The Yardbirds is where Eric Clapton got his initial fame. Released on Epic Records label. Yardbirds. All right, question number 19. What was Elvis Presley's favorite collectible? Elvis had quite a few collections, ladies and gentlemen. If you've never been taken the tour of Graceland, you really should. He had a very interesting life besides the personal persona that was out there, that everybody saw, the great, singer and songwriter, and musician. He had a private life and he collected a lot of things. But what was his favorite collection? Was it A, guns, B, badges, C, signed pictures, or D, porcelain pigs? What was Elvis Presley's favorite collectible? Cool. Well, hello. I'm in upstate New York. 10:20 here. And where are you at, Charlie? Charlie is in Canada. What was Elvis Presley's favorite collectible? I have seen some videos of Graceland, but it's probably much better in person. I've been there once to to take the tour of Graceland. It's pretty impressive. It's a big old house. Well, it was I can't remember what year it was that I went there. It had to be before in 1988, so maybe it's 87, somewhere in there. Jenny is going with D, a total guess. We don't know this one, huh? We've got E, girlfriends, in her piece. He did like women. Oh, Elvis definitely liked women. Unfortunately, he liked ones that were young too. Way back before the internet, my dad used to quiz me on all the corners of classic rock. I had to listen to the music and remember his retention of it. Elvis was never in the mix. He wasn't? Oh, I'm sorry. Would you repeat, please, the question, Cessna? What was Elvis Presley's favorite collectible? Was it A, guns, B, badges, C, signed pictures, or D, porcelain pigs? Can you see the stream? It's the question should be on your screen as well. Stephanie Fisher is going with picky, picky, picky. Laura Ludwig's going D. We had a half-hour car ride home every day, and my mom quizzed me on what was playing, lyrics, bands, etc. of classic rock. Wow. Somebody's at my front door. I'm not going to go get it, though. Whoever it is can go away. All right, Elvis Presley, what was his favorite collectible? Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis collected a lot of things. And everything that you see here on the screen, guns, badges, signed photographs, and porcelain pigs, Elvis collected all of those items. But his favorite was badges, law enforcement badges from different jurisdictions, different levels of law enforcement, from the FBI to the lonely beat officer in Memphis, Tennessee. He collected law enforcement badges. Now, there's a lot of stories about out there about Elvis and his gun collection, and the massive amount of engraved, personalized guns he owned. He also collected motorcycles. He collected a lot of things, but all of those things he collected: guns, badges, photographs, and porcelain pigs. Got him, but his favorite was badges, police office, law enforcement badges. Both your parents were musicians, and they would never have let me buy an Elvis album. He was considered trash. Now, my mother had a huge record album collection of Elvis. She never liked the Beatles. Even before their supposed comment about they were bigger than Jesus Christ, but she just never liked the Beatles. She had a huge Elvis collection though. She got rid of it all. I don't have any of it from her. Interesting. He may have liked true crime. Elvis? Isn't that illegal? Wait. Oh wait, money? Well, these things were a lot of them were gifted to him. Some of them he bought. He bought like collections, from other. He didn't collect thousands of them. He collected the rarity. He wanted like the Old West, law enforcement badge, or a gold shield from a detective, or he wanted, he was very selective in what he collected, and it was like he filled Graceland with 10,000, badges. But all right, question number 20. What was the last song John Lennon ever performed for a paid audience? What was the last song John Lennon ever performed for a paid audience? Was it A, I Saw Her Standing There, B, Imagine, C, Hey Jude, or D, Come Together? What was the last song that John Lennon performed for a paid audience? What's funny is when I was 2 or 3, I started listening to retro rock instead of little kids' music. This is late 70s. My mom said I liked everything except for Elvis. Don't mind him now. I have no Elvis in here. None. And the only Beatles album in here doesn't even have a jacket. But I have like 3 albums that don't have jackets at all. Where is it? I mean, I'd have to go through it, but what was the last song? I used to work for a guy who would always say Led Zeppelin was the devil's music. Really? Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't for everybody. Your favorite band was Creedence Clearwater Revival. Favorite solo man and woman of course, was Jimmy and Janis. I have the only Jimi Hendrix album I have is Electric Ladyland. It's in here somewhere. I think Jimmy is in here towards the back. But it's in there. What was the last, for question 20? What was the last song that John Lennon ever performed for a paid audience? The correct answer is, for question 20, is A, as an apple. I Saw Her Standing There. I'm going to go say Imagine, because so many people care about it and make their wedding march with it. Unfortunately, Danny, it was A, I Saw Her Standing There. Everything was satanic. Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. This is the original first one. This is the gatefold. Now I can see where people thought that this was satanic, but it's not. You know. John Lennon's birthday was yesterday. He would have been 81. You were 4. All right, question number 21. Why was Paul McCartney deported from Germany? Was it A, drugs, B, arson, C, robbery, or D, theft? Why was Paul McCartney deported from Germany? Lane, I'm talking about I Saw Her Standing There. Who killed him? What, John Lennon? Mark David Chapman? Weed? Drugs. Who killed Lennon? Lennon, not Lenin. Lennon. John Lennon was killed by Mark David Chapman. Had a copy of what? Catcher in the Rye in his hand, wasn't it? And then he walked up to him. I acted like he wanted an autograph. He'd been hanging out around the apartment complex. And when Yoko Ono and John Lennon came out to go to run some errand, I can't remember where they were going, he stepped up and acted like he wanted an autograph, and close range killed him. Lennon died safe and warm in bed, not Lennon. Lennon. I want to Google this answer so bad. Had to be A or B, drugs. You can Google it. There's nothing against using the internet to your advantage if you want. I mean, it's just for bragging rights only. Why was Paul McCartney deported from Germany, though? Cheryl Curtis, good evening. If I did not say hello earlier, welcome to tonight's music trivia. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm surprised he could read. Well, I'll give you that one some issues. Mark David Chapman is not exactly the brightest individual, but I'm pretty sure he can read. But it was, the whole thing about the book, the autograph, all of it was like a ruse. I think he had like a photograph or something that he wanted him to sign or something like that, and I'm not sure if he ever got it signed by him and then killed him, or what was the actual, the whole setup. But he needed to get close to him, and he wanted to kill him, and he did. I ain't gonna cheat. That's what's fun in that. Okay, well, Janie, I will tell you. Why was Paul McCartney deported from Germany? The correct answer is B, arson. He was deported from Germany for starting fires, and I can't remember who it was. He was with somebody else, and who was pretty famous. But the two of them had set a whole series of like small little stupid fires. They didn't burn anything down or do any real destruction, but they asked him, "Get the heck out of here." Google it. I'll Google it for you to tell you who that was. It was with him. Paul McCartney deported from Germany with who? Sir Paul McCartney was deported from Germany for setting fires to condoms. The Beatles' former drummer Pete Best said that Paul returned to the UK after being accused of arson when they used the rubbers as emergency lighting at the start of his career. We pinned them on the wall and they sputtered. Pete Best is who he started the fires with. Don't think he was drunk, just obsessed. Was he drunk when he did it? Mark David Chapman? No. Mentally ill, but no. I don't even think he was on any drugs. He'd become obsessed with John Lennon and how the Beatles broke up, and then how the fighting and everything else, and why they finally split. And he just decided that he was going to kill him. He's a crazy man. But I think he's out of prison now. There's a big fan, and there's being obsessed people kill. Yeah. Good evening, armchair detective. MI5. No, I meant Paul McCartney, drunk when he set the fire. With Paul McCartney drunk, yeah, him and best might have been under the influence. I mean, who the heck goes out and sets condoms on fire on purpose, right? A buddy of mine from an old job told me he was banned for life from Amsterdam and was escorted on plane by police. He never would tell me the specifics. I wish I knew the whole story. Wow, didn't know that one. Wasn't he killed around the time in the 1980s or 81? Cessna, I believe you're close. I mean, it might have been 81. Just happened to have the Google here. December 8th, 1980. All right. Question number 22. Which song created the rumor that Paul McCartney died? Was it A, I Saw Her Standing There, B, Hey Jude, C, Strawberry Fields Forever, or D, 929? Which song created the rumor that Paul McCartney died? Um, I hope they never let that freak who killed Lennon out. Didn't they parole that weirdo who shot Reagan? That was, let's see. That was Hinckley. Hinckley shot James Brady and Reagan. I don't know. Over being obsessed with Jodie Foster. He thought that if he did it, that Jodie Foster would love him. Yeah, Hinckley. Sirhan was referred. I know when it comes to Jenny Sirhan, the parole board approved his parole, and then it went to Governor Newsom to actually decide if he's going to release him. I haven't read up on what is the outcome if Newsom decided to block it or not. They should say paroled. I should say paroled. So he was paroled, Jenny. I did a video about it, and I got a lot of hate. Wow, my God, people just really didn't like that. I was like, I don't know how it's my fault. I don't work for the prison. I'm not on the parole board. The people came out of the woodwork just to leave the most nastiest comments on that video about Sirhan getting paroled. It's like, I'm sorry. All right. Which song created the rumor that Paul McCartney had died? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C. C as in cat. Strawberry Fields Forever started the rumor that Paul McCartney was dead. Don't ask me how, but somebody who dives into their conspiracy theories probably knows it, but I don't. All right. 23. Which former Beatles member began his infamous solo career with All Things Must Pass? Was it A, Ringo, B, John, C, George, or D, Paul? That's pretty to blame you for the news. It's like getting mad at the meteorologist because a blizzard's coming, right? It's absolutely true. Cement shoes. It's like, I didn't do it. I had no part in if the man gets out of prison or not. But people people, you know, came out of the woodwork just to leave me the most nasty comments about how I was, you know, that by Sirhan getting out that it was, you know, against the, you know, human nature, and that I needed to go to hell and I needed to rot with him, with Sirhan in hell, because, you know, Bobby Kennedy and his kids are still alive, and his great grandchildren are going to be affected by this, and it's my fault. And I'm like, how the hell is it my fault? I don't understand. But I get that a lot. Was there a George? Yeah. Okay. C. Stephanie Fish is going with C. Yeah. Ringo, John, George, or Paul? NRPs is going with E. Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. Like I commented before, you just keep doing what you do. No worries about the diaper baby comments. I'm gonna keep on doing what I do, Janie. You know what? They want to people, you know, they sit on the other side of a keyboard and they leave these comments, you know, hateful things, and they, you know, they give it videos a thumbs down. It gives them a sense of control and power within their little lives. You know, great. They think that maybe they do affect some people, you know, negatively, and they're hoping that they go away. It ain't gonna affect me, because they don't obviously don't understand my purpose for being here. I don't do this because I'm going to become rich. Oh God, no, I'm not going to get rich from this. Supposedly there's something on the end of Strawberry Fields. If you play it backwards, Lennon says something about Paul being dead. Okay. Prince is third on the range thing from earlier. Well, yeah, I think Ringo probably had the longest, had the, you know, his solo career was definitely different from Paul's. All right, which former Beatles member began his infamous solo career with All Things Must Pass? Question number 23. The correct answer is George. Georgie Boy. Georgie. C as in cat is the correct answer. Question number 24. How many bands has Eric Clapton been part of? Is it A, 10, B, 20, C, 9, or D, 8? And I do realize that there are a lot of questions in this, you know, tonight that are about Led Zeppelin and, well, Eric Clapton, but just happens is the way it worked out. So, and thank you for the super chat, Stephanie. Doing my part to make you rich. Don't spend it all in one place. Well, Stephanie, I probably will never spend it. The likelihood is I will take it and I will put it with the other donations that I get, and I really do appreciate it. Please understand that. I will put it with the other donations, and I'll most likely give it to Next for Autism. But thank you very much, all the same. I really do appreciate it. They're trying to say Avril Lavigne is dead. No, she's not. I just saw her on TV the other day. Is dead. It cracked me up when they said the conspiracy people said T-Pain is an alien or a robot. Yeah, no, that's true. Avril Lavigne is alive and well, and so is what the heck is her name? Alanis Morissette. I just watched the documentary about Canadian musicians, and I totally forgot that Bryan Adams, I think, is, you know, he was in there as well, you know, from Canada, Canadian, from the land, you know, up north. I was joking, but I'm glad you sent it for autism charity. Well, thank you, Stephanie. It means more to me. I mean, I don't talk about what I make it on YouTube because it rubs people the wrong way, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? I can't afford to financially support you." And I'm like, "I never asked you to." I always get people who push back anytime I talk about what I make at this and what I get. So I just don't do it. That's why I never ask anybody to like or support or comment. And I want people to. I want them to comment. I want them to watch it, give it a thumbs up. But and all those things are free, and all those things help me. If you just like the video or give it a thumbs up or leave a comment, all of those things help me, and it's absolutely free. Great White North. It's a beautiful way to go. My neck is skinny. All right. How many bands has Eric Clapton been in? For question number 24. The correct answer for this one is C. Eric Clapton has been in 9 different bands. 9. All right. I think we're finally done with Eric Clapton and Led Zeppelin questions, ladies and gentlemen. Number 25. Which American pop rock band was wildly popular in Japan? Was it A, Cheap Trick, B, Motorhead, C, James Gang, or D, Bachman Turner Overdrive, BTO? Which American pop rock band? SCTVs, Bob and Doug McKenzie. Hey, hoser. Wasn't that Moranis? Rich Moranis? Wasn't he one of the McKenzie brothers? Hey, you hosers. Well, that's been a long time since I've seen that. The McKenzie brothers. Interviews E for ABBA. To understand this, we need to pick the most pop hoser crap. Very few creators that I follow actually come out and ask for donations, etc. They're usually grateful for subscribers. I am. I'm extremely grateful. When you have subscribers and then you lose 60,000 subscribers because of what someone did, you realize pretty quickly just how lucky you are to be in the position that you're in. It really does drive it home, and because people do take it for granted. So they get to a certain plateau, 100,000, a million, or whatever they get to, and the numbers may fluctuate. There might be a normal fluctuation of subscribers and people who are not subscribed anymore. I mean, since I started, 73% of all the people who can watch my content are not subscribers. It's kind of weird. 73% don't subscribe. I don't know what I can do to get them to subscribe, but I'm grateful to all the ones that do. My answer is F because I'm effing wrong. A, yes, Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis were the McKenzie brothers, huh? One time, a certain creator said, in response to a lady's comment, that she couldn't spare $1. He said, mocking that he'd send her $1. Very off-putting. Wow. That is so wrong on so many different levels, Mitch Hughes. Okay. Which American pop rock band was wildly popular in Japan? The correct answer is A. A is an apple. Cheap Trick. Very popular. And today they are still immensely popular in Japan. Cheap Trick. Question number 26. Why did Jeremy Spencer leave the band Fleetwood Mac? Why did Jeremy Spencer leave the band Fleetwood Mac? Was it A, to join the Army, B, to become a doctor, C, to join the Navy, or D, to join a cult? Why did Jeremy Spencer leave the band Fleetwood Mac? You're a good guy. Well, you work hard, and I didn't subscribe because I was looking for more content versus real content. I didn't understand that for years ago. I'm here to support now. Well, thank you, Janie. I appreciate it. We can help. We can promote you. Yeah, I appreciate that, Stephanie. Wouldn't be. I have the link. It's on most of the videos that I do. That's, and then it says underneath the actual video description in green, says it's a fundraiser. I was putting the actual link on every video for the. I'm going to do that for the rest of the year for Next for Autism, but we kind of stopped doing it on certain types of content. So we're more selective on which videos we actually put it on now. Now, as much as it hurts me and it pains me that, like JJ Vallow, I don't know how much it actually played into that he was murdered by Alex Cox at the hands of, that probably, most likely because Chad said he was a dark spirit and Lori said he was evil. So then Alex did the bidding for him and killed JJ. But how much did his autism actually play into his actual demise? How much did autism play into the murder of James Hutchinson in Middletown, Ohio? Both, were murdered, at the hands of or by the direction of their mothers. And, so we decided not to put the link to Next for Autism on videos like that because we don't want people to think that we're raising money. You either give us money or these kids are going to die. I know it's weird. It sounds weird just saying it, but we decided not to put the link on certain content. That's the short version. Charlie Hunt says to join a cult. Jimmy Spencer left Fleetwood Mac to join a cult, he says. Smoking too much weed, LOL. I've unsubscribed to a number in the last couple of weeks. I'm sorry, Charlie, that somebody made you unsubscribe to them. But Charlie Hunt says that Jeremy Spencer left Fleetwood Mac to join a cult, and he's right. He left Fleetwood Mac to join a cult. D as in dog is the correct answer. He left Fleetwood Mac to join a cult. No such thing as too much weed. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't care what you do. You want to smoke weed, smoke weed. It's to each to their own. All right, next question, number 27. David Bowie appeared in what cult film in 1986? Was it Leviathan, B, Aliens, C, Top Gun, or D, Stand By Me? I must go blow my nose. I'm sure nobody wants to see me do that. I'll be right back. David Bowie appeared in what cult film in 1986? Andrew Pease is going with Wayne's World. Party on, Wayne and Guard. No, the Wayne's World. That was Wayne and Mr. John Wick. The Killer. A, B, A. Weirdo, LOL. David Bowie appeared in what cult film in 1986? In case you guys didn't know, the new remake of the movie Dune is coming out shortly. Me and my wife are not sure if we're going to go see that or not. Love the book. I don't know why they needed to remake it, but they did. Still like the Wayne's World movies. The second Wayne's World, both of them, they actually like raised the money, through an Indiegogo and stuff like that to make the movies the second one themselves. B-ish. Trolls are the worst, aren't they, Matt? Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Ziggy Stardust. I only have one David Bowie album. At least out here. I might have more in the house, but I thought for sure I brought more of them out, but I didn't. Ziggy is damn cool. I don't think there's any way to compare. It's a completely different style and music altogether that he was producing back then. All right, David Bowie appeared in what cult film in 1986? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is A. A is the correct answer. Anyone else see that movie? Ziggy Stardust and the Moon Unit is the best. Question number 28. In the 80s year, in what 80s year did Queen inform everyone that another one bites the dust? Was it A, 1989, B, 1980, C, 1981, or D, 1982? Don't you eat that yellow snow. In what 80s year did Queen inform everyone that another one bites the dust, has bitten the dust? Isn't that Zappa? Frank Zappa? Frank was definitely a unique individual, isn't he? Talented wise, and music that he put out. S. Singleton, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. In what 80s year did Queen inform everyone that another one had bitten the dust? The correct answer is B, as in boy. 1980. Moon Unit was Zappa's daughter. Didn't he have another daughter, named like Sunbeam or Sunshine or something like that? Something bizarre. And he named all of his kids something unique. All right, question number 29. How old was Larry Mullen Jr. when he formed the band later known as U2? Was it A, 24, B, 12, C, 22, or D, 14? How old was Larry Mullen Jr. when he formed what would later become U2? Dweezil Zappa. Yep. Moon Unit. Hey, I'm gonna get you to Another One Bites the Dust. I did. I hope you did too. Good. My friend Tim came into town. We got to hang out for a little bit. He was in town because it was his granddaughter's birthday. She turned 7 years old. And then we got to go hang out with friends last night and play Texas Hold'em. So that was fun. Got to see some friends last night. Most of them are, they're still staying at home because they're afraid of COVID. So. I like Apple Music. BDLOL. Duty Ron, good evening, sir. I hope you are doing well, Duty Ron. I got the notification of your live when you went live last time, but I didn't get a chance to because I was watching football. Sorry. Well, thank you for the purchase of the super sticker, Duty Ron. Everybody if you haven't followed Duty Ron's channel, you need to go check out Duty Ron, his channel and his content. If you're not familiar with who Duty Ron is a retired New York City detective, and he has a wonderful channel, and he brings on plenty of people on his panel and on his content who give insight into the cases that he's reporting on, so you can actually hear real life first, people with experience in those type of areas that, so it's not like somebody tells you that this is what happened and this is why it happened. They break it down and they give you the actual context. It's like, okay, this is not that specific case. I'm not involved in the case, but I have experience in this, and this is why we would do this. But anyways, Duty Ron has a great channel. You need to go check out his content. Let Will know I stopped by and I'm off to bed. Duty Ron, you have a great night, sir. And thank you again. Yeah. And thank you for dropping the link there, Interpeas. I appreciate it. Hey, Joshua. Good evening, sir. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Joshua. We only got we got one more regular question, then we have two bonus questions left. How old was Larry Mullen Jr. when he later formed the band known as U2? The correct answer to question number 29, ladies and gentlemen, is D, as in dog. He was 14 years old when he started putting all the members together, which would later become U2. All right, question number 30. Everyone knows Kiss from a Rose, but what was Seal's second biggest hit of the 90s? Was it A, Darla, B, Killer, C, Sweet Maria, or D, Plastic Trees? What was Seal's second biggest hit of the 1990s? I believe I can fly. Oh, thank you, Deuteron. Really appreciate it, sir. Appreciate everything you do. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You have a great week ahead, sir. I'll have to get over to to check you and hit the next live stream. I don't know. Killer says Skitty Nona. Joshua's going with B. I believe B, LOL, B, D, C. Seal. And he has a great voice. Very talented individual. I have him in here somewhere. Not sure where it is. We were listening to albums last night after we got back from our friends and playing cards, and we just sat here for about 5 hours or so, just kind of going through the records, listening to the songs, reminisce. Seal did a version too. I thought he might have Joshua. I'm not sure. You only know if 2 of his songs start fire. I believe I psychologically blocked out Seal's music from my memory, so I couldn't possibly hazard a guess. Seal had a song called "Crazy." I thought. I don't know if I can find it. It's in here somewhere. I have one album by Seal. Fly Like an Eagle. But to question number 30, everyone knows that Kiss from a Rose was his biggest hit by far. But what was Seal's second biggest hit of the 90s? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, as in boy, Killer. I can name 0 Seal songs. Radiohead, Plastic Trees. Yeah, you got that, didn't you? I added that. And same with Sweet Maria. Fly Like an Eagle is Kravitz. All right, bonus question. Zach Hansen, the youngest brother of the Hansons, was how old when the trio classic Bop was released in 1997? How old was he? Was he 9, 10, 11, or 12? Zach Hansen, how old was he when Bop was released? Joshua's going with really young. I believe Deuteron is a liaison with Equisearch. Is the liaison for Equisearch? Yes, that's not. I believe so as well. I have definitely heard him and seen him wear the Equisearch hat. I think he has a vest too, or a shirt for Equisearch. I've never actually really followed up too closely on that, like who they are, what they do. I mean, I know what they do. I mean, but I'm gonna look into it. It's on my list of things that have the note. It's on a sticky note right here underneath my monitor. Can't answer for singing the song. Not old enough. It says inner peas. Amy is like, I'm guessing A. All right, Zach Hansen, the youngest brother of the Hansons, was how old when the trio's classic Bop was released? The correct answer is C. He was 11 years old. C. C as in cat. He was 11 years old when that came out. All right, next bonus question. After a decade of writing Spanish songs, which artist reached international fame from 2001 onward with English English versions of her songs? Was it A, Shakira, B, Ricky Martin, C, Davy Jones, or D, Bob Dylan? After a decade of writing Spanish songs, which artist reached international fame from 2001 onward with English ones? Was it? Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading it. A body found in Blue Ridge Parkway in Boone, North Carolina. I'm sorry. Excuse me for, I mean, a cough. How many bonus questions are there, Stephanie? There's only two. I always try to pick two of them that don't really fit in with the the rest of the theme. I mean, the Hansons didn't really fit with the other questions, and I understand there was a lot of Eric Clapton, Led Zeppelin questions in there, but that's just the way it worked out tonight. And I just said, I noticed after putting them all together, I was like, there's a lot of Led Zeppelin and Eric Clapton questions, but the bonus ones don't really fit, nor does this one fit with the within the theme of the other song questions. So, wonder if it's Brian Laundrie, Evil Lady. Shakira is so pretty. She is pretty. She is a beautiful woman. North Carolina, though. How did he get there? Hitchhiking? And it wouldn't be the first time that he's hitchhiked. He could be anywhere. I really do not think that Brian Laundrie went into the Carlton Reserve. I think he brought his car there, he dumped it there, and then he walked the heck out the opposite direction. I don't think he had any intention ever of going in there. It would make the most sense, but then again, I've never killed my girlfriend, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. Yeah, but Blue Ridge is on the Appalachian Trail. Oh. Hmm. Joshua says Brian's dead. Well, one way or another, Joshua, he is dead. If they catch him and he gets convicted of killing Gabby, he's going to wish he was dead. But Now, or he killed himself. All right, the bonus question. Well, the correct answer to this one is A. Shakira. You got to listen to those hips. Listen to her hips. But that's it. That is all of the questions for trivia for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had fun. You don't think he's suicidal, Colleen? No, Leonard Skinner? But please go listen to Ballad of Curtis Low and thank me later. Oh, Stephanie, I have Skinner albums, several Leonard Skinner albums. I'll listen to it later. I think the first one I'm going to listen to tonight is Tolkien. Anybody remember Tolkien? Put it more closer to Tollonen. Tolkien. Mountains, Wonderland, Last Night, Elements, Earth, Fire, and Water, and Ramblin'. I think that's going to be the first one I listen to tonight. And probably some Electric Ladyland. I've got a lot of editing I have to do tonight still for the videos for this week. It's over. Cessna, that is it. That is all 30 questions. 30 multiple choice questions and 2 bonus. Vinyl, Joshua, yeah, that's what all this is. Yeah, I moved all this out here because I spend so much time in here. I was like, and all this was inside my home, so I'm like, why don't I bring it out here? Since I have to spend so much time in here, I'm in here 12 to 14 hours a day, right here, every single day. And I enjoy this music. It's it's eclectic, but this is what I enjoy, and this is the music that makes me happy and relaxes me. So I moved it out here so I can actually enjoy it. So in the house, all it was doing collecting the dust because I can't listen to it in there while I'm in here. So what a great way to end the weekend. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Cessna. Play some vinyl? I wish I could. Copyright it, though. I'd get a copyright strike, and then I'd have to either take the entire stream down, or I would have to agree to the copyright strike and lose my channel. So I can't do that. And if the channel is not monetized, it would be a completely different story. I could play it on there, and I mean, who cares if it's monetized or not? I'm not making any money, and then but that's how a lot of channels get away with doing it. Is if it's not monetized, then you don't have to turn monetization on because you don't have that option. So you still get the copyright notices, but it wouldn't be an effective strike against the channel. But where this channel is, yeah, they'd come after me hard. They would love to do that. What time next Sunday? Cessna, the same every Sunday. It's at the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So according to whatever time zone you're in, but 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time is the trivia, and then on Saturday mornings I do news and then a general chat. And discussion, and where people, ask me about if I'll look into other cases and stuff like that. We talk about those on Saturday mornings, and that's at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So if you're in Virginia, that would be 3 hours difference, right? Because I'm on the West Coast of the United States, and I start this at 7 o'clock. So it's what, 10 then? So it'd be, so right now where you are, is it 11:27? Ten p.m. for us, Cessna. I always forget that. Every time I call my sisters back home, or my family back home, I always forget about the time zone difference. I'm either catching them really early in the morning before they get up, or I'm catching them just as they're going to bed. Your Eastern Standard Time, so 10 p.m. your time. Yes, because I do believe it's 3 hours difference from West Coast to East Coast. Next week is true crime. This week was music. Next week is true crime. So they go back and forth. One is true crime, then music, then true crime, then music, true crime, then music, until the month of October is over with, and then starting in November, we're changing everything up with the channel. Don't worry, the trivia will still be here on Sundays. The Saturday morning chats will still be here, in the news, but we're going to be changing up how often I upload, when I upload, and when it's like if this is going to be just music only trivia on Sunday, or if I'll do a third live stream. There's all these things that we're kind of talking about and looking at right now, but things are definitely changing in November for the entire channel. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm changing things to offer what people are actually interacting with and what they're enjoying. So, got to give the people what they want. There's no reason to offer something that doesn't resonate with the viewers. So, it is 12:28 there. It is 9:30 p.m. right now where I am. Hate the latest with the Delphi case. Hate the latest with the Delphi case. I haven't followed up on the Delphi murders of Abby and Libby lately, Joshua, but it is on my agenda to look into. I don't know if there's much there to talk about, though. It's a lot of speculation. But yes, YouTubers' notifications are unreliable. They are very unreliable. I didn't get a notification at all that I was leaving live. Both times. You got to remember, this is part two. The first stream, for some reason, we were having an issue with the internet. So I turned it off and reset the entire thing. And this is the second one. But set a phone alarm. I'll look into the Delphi case. I mean, I have to be in here tonight anyways to do some editing. I'll take a look over it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody again for being here. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the music trivia tonight. If you didn't, go ahead and hit that thumbs down, but hit it twice to make sure that they know that you really didn't like it. Click that thumbs down twice. Delphi is getting cold. Judas is thinks well from Sydney, Australia. Will that ever be solved, precious girls? Will the murder of Abby and Libby ever be solved? I don't know. But I'll tell you this much. I am so surprised that by, at this point that they haven't, caught the guy who did it. Somebody had to have seen something. I mean, Delphi, Indiana, ladies and gentlemen, is not a really big place. It's not like, this guy could just, vanish into thin air, because it's a major city and there's hundreds of thousands of other people around. Somebody in that area knows exactly who this guy is from the renderings. They know who he is, but they're not saying anything. I don't know if the police department knows who it is, but somebody knows who that is from the walk, that tiny little voice clip, something. Good night, Amy. Guys, it's been fun. Thanks, Will. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Somebody knows who he is. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joshua. Somebody does. And it's trying to convince that one person just to make that one anonymous tip. But unfortunately, in this day and age, when it comes to tip lines on cases like the Delphi murders of Abby and Libby, they get so flooded and clogged up with all these wackanuts who will call and I'm a transvoyant deity from Brainbridge Island who's been transported here through my porthole. They get people like that who call and leave tip after tip after tip after tip because they believe it. Believe whatever you want, but do you really, have you ever solved anything with your psychic powers or your ability to forecast visions? I'm not making fun of it. If people believe that, they believe that. If it's real, it's real. I've never seen it proven to be real. Then again, never seen it being proven to be false either. But then my point is, though, these tip lines, they get clogged and they have to research and they have to investigate every tip, even as crazy it is. Like the guy was, there have been tips that have been called in. The family has been harassed, because they said that the guy who actually did it resembled Elvis. That's real. Tips were called in that Elvis was the one who killed Abby and Libby. Don't look like Elvis to me. Casey Sheets' case from 2021 has resurfaced. It's probably an old lady that loves her son. Somebody knows something. You were born and raised a Hoosier, Scotty Nona. Only person I know that said he was from the Delphi was a dude I used to work with, but was Delphi, Ohio. They have a huge memorial park, Scotty Nona. It's a big park. They have a memorial for him. A lot of people, of course, they ran with the speculation that the family was lining their pockets with the donations and they had purchased new vehicles and a new house with the money. 100% of the money that was donated for the memorial for Abby and Libby was all accounted for. Banks, construction companies gave free supplies and labor. They got a whole lot more things that they on their wish list of things that that never would have been possible with the amount of money that they were able to raise. They got these things for free. But yeah, it's just that's the world we live in, though. That's the world we live in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up there. I thank you again for everybody who stopped in and played the tribute tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and I hope you all are able to stay safe out there. You know, cover up, take precautions if you have to go out. COVID's real. May not like it, but it's real. Good night, Joshua. Good night, everybody. Until next time.